This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
It's randomly delicious.
Randomly. Randomly. Occasionally. I heard you yesterday kind of going through that with Choice a little bit.
He's a big fan.
Of the randomly delicious?
He is.
Yeah. He probably likes the Lucky Charms as well, too, doesn't he?
I think Choice is a cereal guy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you're not much of a cereal guy, are you?
I don't usually eat breakfast at the house, so yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've not seen you with the Fruit Loops or Captain Crunch or anything like that.
I like them. It just doesn't really fit my schedule.
Yeah. No, I got you. Does this show fit your schedule?
Yes, perfectly.
Perfectly. Would you be surprised to see David Bailey slip out of the number 2 spot in the NFL draft?
I mean, to drop to 3, 4, 5, it's possible. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
I don't think he would go past 4. There's speculation that he could go to the Arizona Cardinals, to the Tennessee Titans, or number 2 to the New York Jets. I mean, there's also, I guess, the possibility somebody could trade up.
Possible.
If they really, kind of fall in love and want to do that. The Jets made a little news with him. They canceled their visit with him, and then the GM said, don't read anything into that, because when we went to his pro day, we had a nice dinner with him, and they get 30 visits. So, and I didn't realize that NFL teams only had 30 visits with prospective draft guys. I would have thought that they could have just brought in as many as they wanted to.
I would have guessed that too.
And I mean, I get it on the college side, but who even knows what kind of restrictions they have anymore? I mean, it doesn't really seem like there's.
Yeah, I bet the football staff does. The compliance staff, I bet they know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I'm sure they do. But I mean, it just seems like with all the rules that we don't have, we have rules that are silly, right? And it just seems like, there's some that you're like going, okay, we got to follow that rule, but we're not really following these over here. I mean, compliance always wants you to be compliant, right? They always want you to be inside the lines.
I think that's what we pay them for.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, and it makes a whole lot of sense. But I didn't know that. Didn't know that you could only have 30 guys in to visit. And while that seems like a high number, I bet when they're trying to figure out who they want to bring in and interview and talk to, when you have 7 rounds, probably goes like, well, there's only, and they can go out and see people, and they're scouts and they fine tooth comb stuff. I mean, they probably find out stuff about players that the players don't even know that anybody else knew, because they're trying to determine if they want to invest in this particular player, especially in the first 3 or 4 rounds, where you have this expectation for this player to come in and contribute
immediately
to your football team, right? Yeah. Almost right away. Somebody asked about Jacob Rodriguez. So depending on who you look at, he could go in the second round to the Jets, to the Colts, to the Buccaneers, to the Giants, to the Bengals, and then there's a projection that he'll go to the Buffalo Bills. And I think there's been some conversation and speculation on our stations that there'll be a team that says, I got to have him, and just love his motor, love what he does, love his ability to, separate the ball from the ball carrier and recover, and just has intangibles. And so I think that's what's probably going to propel him into the first round, don't you?
I wouldn't be shocked if he was in the first round. I wouldn't be shocked if it was really early in the second round.
I wonder if you'd have said to him, and probably so, because I think that, when he came here, he was a quarterback previously. And he came here and they put him on the defensive side. And I'm going to guess that, 3 years ago, if somebody had said to him, hey, Jacob, you have a chance to be a first-round draft choice, he'd have said, oh, that's a nice thought. I'll work really hard and try to get there. But he seems like he's one of those guys that really has improved since he got here.
No question. I mean, massively. I mean, you bring him in as a walk-on that first year, and I think when they brought him in here, they knew he wasn't going to be a quarterback, but I don't think that they expected him to turn into a first-round pick. But, yeah, you expected, hey, maybe this guy can help us and all that kind of stuff, but he's been way better than just he can help us.
Yeah, because let's face it, he turned into the face of your defense last year.
Yep.
You know, Lee Hunter is also projected to go in the second round, and it feels like that he'll make somebody a really nice hand. Whether he's right now projected to go, depending on who you look at in terms of the mock drafts, the Vikings, the Patriots, the Texans, or the Carolina Panthers. It'd be cool if he went to the Texans. That way you could kind of keep tabs on him. I mean, you'll be able to keep tabs on him wherever he goes, but I mean, if he's handy, you might have a chance to see him if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean,
if you wanted to.
Texans are on TV every Sunday in our area, so I guess that would be good in that regard.
Romello Height is a third-round guy, and again, he's probably a guy that when teams talk to him, like, hey, we need you to come in and be a player right away, especially at the third round. Pittsburgh, Miami, Tennessee, the Cowboys, that'd be fun, and the Vikings. Okay, that's Romello Height. And then Reggie Virgil is projected later. Do you think he's a guy that could blossom in the NFL?
I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge. I mean, I don't look at him as a no-brainer, that he's going to immediately go to the NFL and become a good player. I mean, I think he's solid. I think he's got a shot. It all depends on how he develops.
Do you think it's ability also to stay healthy too?
That's not what I think about most. I think about just his skill set.
Speed. Size. Okay. Size probably. What about Caleb Douglas? He's a 7th round, 6th round, 5th round guy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was going to be better than he was last year. So maybe at the next level, he just kind of depends on where he finds a good fit with a team that needs wide receivers and a team that can get him the ball and he can he continue to get better?
Yeah,
because I think he's blessed with a lot of talent. I think it's a little bit untapped at this point.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Time for this day in sports history. Today is Wednesday, April the 22nd, 2026. For this day in sports history, here is Jeff McGuire.
1954 is where we will start things off today, with the NBA adopting the 24-second shot clock and 6-team foul rule.
You like the 6-team foul rule?
Yeah, I mean, you want the superstars to be in there. You don't want guys getting knocked out because best players sitting on the bench because they picked up some fouls. So yeah, I like it. I wouldn't make it. I probably wouldn't go any higher than 6, but yeah, no, that's good.
Would you go to 6 in college?
I wouldn't hate it, but I'm okay with it being 5 in college too.
Okay.
1969, Robin Knox Johnson ends a 312-day nonstop sailing trip to become the first person to perform a single-handed, nonstop circumnavigation of the globe.
Okay.
Part of me thinks Jamie would love this idea because he would be completely alone for almost a year.
I would miss my family.
You'd miss your family, but you wouldn't be bothered for almost a year.
Would the missus go with you on a trip like that?
Well, then it wouldn't be single-handedly.
I know, but I mean,
it'd be dual-handed.
But then he wouldn't miss his family.
How would I be traveling?
Sailing.
Probably not.
1990, in the NFL draft, University of Illinois quarterback Jeff George, first pick by the Indianapolis Colts.
That did not work out.
I mean, he wasn't terrible for them. They just didn't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, just...
It feels like he put up some big numbers there, though.
Well, maybe so. Maybe it just he just felt like he was a guy that just oozed with potential, and it just never really. He played 14 years. I may have to backtrack that a little bit.
Well, while you are looking at your backtracking, 2012, gentlemen. For 35 years, Texas Tech Lady Raider tennis was a mere afterthought, really. But at the McLeod Tennis Center, the number 19 Lady Raiders rushed out of the gate like a steaming locomotive to pull a 5-2 win over Iowa State and win the 2012 Big 12 Conference Women's Tennis Championship.
Way to go.
5 years later, 2017, the number 4 Texas Tech baseball team got back in the win column with an 8-2 victory over Oklahoma State. Sophomore lefty Stephen Gingrey threw down his 10th quality start in 10 appearances that season, going 6 innings, getting 9 Ks, including a stretch of 5 consecutive punch-outs from the end of the first to the beginning of the third. The win improved Gingrey to a Big 12 best 8-0, while Tech improved to 9-1 in games where he pitched.
He was good.
It is National Jelly Bean Day.
Okay.
Seems
As
like
a
weird
candy?
day for it.
As a candy, I support them. Not all flavors are equal.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't care for the black ones.
Or white ones.
Or the white ones. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Purple and orange, green for me.
Red's fine. The red and white speckled one is fine. I mean, there's lots of ones that are fine. There's some that we do not support around here. Oddly enough, my sister loves some of those, so those work out great.
I didn't know that we had this platform plank of jelly bean, ranking or
Well, like I said,
approval.
overall, I support the candy. Mm-hmm. Not all the flavors. Big time happy birthday going out to former Red Raider football player LaRaven Clark, who's 33 today. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is 60. Jack Nicholson is 89. Marshawn Lynch is 40. Ryan Stiles, 67. And Terry Francona is 67.
I would have thought he was a little younger than that, but okay.
And on this day, in 1889, at precisely high noon, thousands of would-be settlers made a mad dash into the newly opened Oklahoma Territory to claim cheap land. There were, of course, those that cheated and started early to grab their land. Those people were called Sooners. And, well, we just call them land thieves.
No, I got it, yeah.
And that's this day in sports history.
All right. This day in sports history. All right, Jeff George. He threw 46 interceptions to 41 touchdowns, lost 35 of his 49 starts as a Colt. His only winning season was 1992. And in that season, he played 10 games, threw 15 interceptions to 7 touchdowns. Before the 93 season, he refused to report to training camp, only returned when the owner, Jim Irsay, made it clear he'd have to pay a huge penalty for breach of contract. The Colts then traded him to the Atlanta Falcons. Didn't really work out for him there either. September 22nd, 1996, he got into a heated argument with then-coach June Jones. He was then suspended for the rest of the season. He blamed team management for his problems, felt Jones didn't stand up for him. And then apparently years after the incident, then June Jones stood up for Jeff George, stating that the TV argument was overblown and that George was a good quarterback. His record with the Falcons was 16-19, and then he went to the Raiders. And then he went to the Vikings, and then he went to the Redskins, and then he went to the Seahawks. So it really just didn't work out for him in the NFL. But he was paid handsomely to be there. So I guess in a way it did work out for him. So at any rate, that's the deal. Hey, I have a conversation starter for you for maybe early weekend gatherings if you have one, or if you want to share on the with anybody that you run into in Abilene today, Jamie. The New York Mets last night lost their 12th straight baseball game. Okay.
Oh, no.
Never in the history of Major League Baseball has a team that lost 10 straight made the playoffs.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. So, it's not what they were expecting for the Metropolitans this year. But, you start sliding like that, and it's hard to stop sometimes. It's hard to stop, and that's not what they had another collapse last night in the ninth inning, and they lost to the Twins 5-3. They're now in this ESPN article. This is what you never want to be called, beleaguered.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good term to use.
Beleaguered, yeah. Mm-hmm. Apparently, it was a frigid night at Citi Field last night in New York. So. But they're now beleaguered, the beleaguered Mets, the messed up Mets. Some might call them that. 6:54 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that. We get this. Sports Deep Thoughts brought to you by Chuck. That could be
very deep.
That could be something that we seek out, additional sponsors for. Deep Thoughts.
Extremely deep.
Somebody says sure miss Gingery. Yeah.
Yes, no doubt.
Yeah.
And Davis. And
he's a long list of guys that you missed, right?
And,
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All those guys.
All those good dudes.
Great
players.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. We'll have Red Raider baseball for you this afternoon, early afternoon, evening, late evening. I don't know really what you want to call it. 4:30 the broadcast time. 5 o'clock.
Let's do that.
Pitch.
Let's just call it 4:30.
Okay.
Makes it easier for everybody involved.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You just kind of get used to saying day game, night game. This is kind of in between twilight.
Right. Which is why I'm saying let's just say 4:30.
Yeah. I miss the old twilight doubleheaders.
Do you?
Yeah. Every once in a while, the 5 o'clock, and then the early afternoon, then the night. Not the empty the ballpark kind of deal, but the twilight. The twilight doubleheader. It's always kind of fun to go to. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Question for you, Jamie. Missed the show yesterday. You didn't turn in a note, so it's going to be unexcused absence. But wanted to ask you about the ball that looked like it was clearly dropped by the Utah outfielder on Sunday, but we chose not to challenge it.
Yeah, can't really speak too much to it, and that we didn't have a monitor in the booth, so it was hard for us to tell. Jeff initially called it is a drop. I didn't see it drop, but yeah, that's obviously the really disappointed that if that was the case that it did that the coaching staff didn't catch it. You got whether it be your base coaches or whether it be the guys in the dugout. I mean, it's a long way from them, no doubt. It's in deep right center field. Their dugout's the first base dugout, so the player has kind of his back to them. But it was surprising, I guess, that none of them noticed it. So very disappointing because it could have helped you a bunch there.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been second and third with one out at the time. Instead, it was a runner at first with 2 outs. So, yeah, big miss there. If it did really drop again, I've not gone back and looked at the highlight, but we had people tell us that it clearly dropped. So, yeah, I'm sure that Coach Tadlock and his guys wish they had that one back. And I don't know if that's really, you look to the base coaches for the most on that, but obviously they're all looking in that direction. It was just hard to tell. Again, I thought he caught it.
And so he's like, he thought he caught it, and then the ball kind of slipped out of the glove after that, or he had like possession of it?
No, I didn't see the ball come out of his glove.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. 7:18 this morning here on the morning drive.
I mean, no way around it. I mean, you would have to think the coaching staff was pretty disappointed they didn't catch that.
Yeah. Speaking of balls not being caught, Coach Tadlock was asked last night after the ball game, and I think this happened in the first inning where a ball gets lost in the sun, and then Kason Ranieri has to kind of bounce back after that, and he talks about how his pitcher was able to do that and settle down after the first inning. This is bouncing back after the lost ball in the sun.
There's high skies in that, right? No, he just lost the ball. No big deal. It happens. And so, but yeah, I thought Ranieri in that inning continued to pitch. That's important. And no matter what happens behind you, it's important to continue just to kind of keep pounding it in there. And I thought he did that. And that was a big part of the game. I mean, he threw 32 pitches in the first inning. That's a few more than you'd like.
So for Ranieri, I think I said Ranieri, but it's Ranieri. He threw 78 pitches, so 32 in the first inning, and he threw 3 more innings after that. So he was pretty efficient after that, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, he did a great job. Yep, he did a great job, and I thought he did. I mean, problem is the next batter, he gets a ground ball to third, and that the play is not made there, and you give up another run that shouldn't have been on the board, and an unearned run on an error there. So. And I thought Coach Foster came out and talked to him at that point and settled him down, and I thought that was a smart thing to do.
Kirk asked this question, Jamie. Anything to read into Goot coaching at third base yesterday?
From where we sit, we can't see into the dugout. My guess is that J. Bob Thomas was off recruiting somewhere.
Okay.
That would be my guess. Most times when Coach Thomas is not out there, it's because he's off recruiting.
Okay. Yeah. So nothing to read into.
So I would read into it that Coach Thomas is recruiting.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. I mean, if you saw into the dugout and could see Coach Thomas down there, let me know. But either way, I would, they're baseball guys, and they're going to change up things when, you're not winning. That happens. But I would, again, more times than not, when Coach Thomas is not out there at third, it's because he's off looking for more players.
Okay, well, that's part of his job too, isn't it?
It absolutely is his job.
To go find.
His main job.
Go find players. Yeah. One last thing from Coach Tadlock, and this is him addressing Jesse Rusnick's injury situation.
Yeah, it's a stress reaction. So worse than that would be a stress fracture. Right, and so it's kind of day to day. It's really we're waiting to hear from the doctor or back doctor to say, hey, this is how much time he needs to rest, and kind of watch and see how he is day to day. I mean, we could get here tomorrow and they say, hey, he can play.
Okay, so that's good news, right?
Could be.
Just kind of
could be. They could get there today, and the doctor could say, hey, he needs to be out a month.
Yeah.
So. But the fact that Coach Tadlock is calling it day to day gives you hope that it's, a shorter time period.
Yeah, because generally speaking, he probably would have been a little bit more generic in his response to that question.
If he didn't think that was possible.
Yeah,
correct.
If he didn't think that was possible. Right. So we shall see. I got to tell you, yesterday, and I kind of have this. I kind of get distracted from time to time. I don't know if you've noticed that. That I kind of sometimes get, caught off guard, right? But during the pregame show yesterday, Jeff asked you what kind of jet had just flown over Danelaw Field at Rip Griffin Park, and then I found myself looking up in the sky as I was driving, trying to find this particular jet. So I was just like, okay, what kind of funky jet just flew over? And I'm looking up and I'm like, okay, I need to really kind of be paying attention here so I don't rear end the guy that's in front of me. And I never found it in the sky.
The obsession with our cell phones and our social media and the flashing and scrolling and all that, I think will continue to take its toll on society and their inability to focus. Yeah. And it's only going to get worse until people figure out just put your phone away from you for 2 minutes at a time. Your ability to just dial into one thing, it's being ruined.
It is, and I mean, I'm guilty as charged. I'm guilty as charged.
Can't sit here and do a show without looking at it. Can't sit and watch television without it. Can't do anything without it. That's what we've become as people, and it changes your mind. Your ability to focus and dial in, it's being eroded away by the cell phones.
I feel like I need to pour like a Coke over my head. You know, like on the batteries back in the day with your car. You know, when your battery would get corroded, you pour Coke over.
Or just use battery cleaner.
Or you could just not look at your cell phone all the time.
I know it's
only look at your cell phone when you need to.
Yeah, it's I need help. I need to go to some kind of rehab. You know, lock me away in a padded cell.
You and about 90% of the world.
Yeah.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen, my question involves Red Raider football today.
Okay.
My question is this. What person involved with Red Raider football, player, coach, owner, GM, AD, whatever, what player involved with Red Raider football, broadcaster, of course, yeah, we need to make it about us, yeah, has the most pressure on them this upcoming season?
Well, I think the low-hanging fruit is Brendan Sorsby, because he's the guy that you paid the most money to. He's the guy that you said, hey, we need a quarterback. We're going to go get us one. We're going to pay to get him out of jail there in Cincinnati. We're going to pay for him here. Well,
when was he arrested?
Well, just the contract jail. Okay.
Did we do that?
I don't know, but I mean, I got to feel like that we helped with that. It's part of his agreement that we're going to pay his non-compete.
Got him out of jail.
Well, out of contract jail, but that's what I mean, it was figuratively speaking, not literally speaking. Okay. But I'm gonna slide in a different direction just to be a little different, and I'm gonna stay with the offense, and I don't necessarily think his job's in jeopardy, but I think that this will be an opportunity for him to put his like signature footprint, handprint, fingerprint, whatever, all over it, and that's Mac Leftwich, the offensive coordinator, because I think from a play calling standpoint, from a scheme standpoint, from a getting everybody on the same page standpoint, that he's the guy. I mean, because you're providing an awful lot of tools here, and the offense needs to perform better in order for this team to win the 12 games and beyond that it needs to win. Can't just rely on the defense this year. So Mac Leftwich is who I'm going to say is the pressure's on.
Where did Texas Tech's offense rank last season? Yeah, seems like it was top 10.
Okay.
I don't think we won just because of the defense last year. I think your answer is a good one.
Okay.
I just think that comment's a little bit crazy. Can't just rely on the defense this year. I think that comment's a little bit crazy. I think the offense was still good last year.
Okay.
There were times where it frustrated me, no question. Yeah. No doubt.
I just don't feel like you were overpowering with your offense last year.
Okay.
Would you like to mention anybody else?
No, Mac Leftwich.
I say this because those were the first two names I thought of, and you took both of them off the board.
I didn't think of Leftwich. I think it's a good answer, though.
With both of those off the board, and I know I could give the same answer, but to give a different answer.
Sorsby's not off the board. That wasn't his answer. And even if you could answer the same thing.
Yeah, he could. But I'm also going to pivot just a touch. We have seen it in this on this station. We have seen it on the chat line. There are still members, not many. It's a small minority that is getting smaller by day, that still don't like Joey McGuire as our head football coach. And Vegas over-under is 11.5, which means Vegas thinks you're going to win either 11 games or 12 games, and making people decide on that point. One loss is going to be all the fuel that some of these people need to just go after him. One loss. It's ridiculous pressure. But as good as your football team is and as the rest of the Big 12 sits, one loss. Not that he's going to lose his job, but that just adds fuel to that other side of that fire.
I can't even imagine what it would take for Joey McGuire to be on any kind of hot seat.
I'm with you.
Or to feel any kind of pressure. I mean, like a 2 or 3 win season. I'm telling you, if they go 6-6 or 5-7, I still think he's built up enough with last year that people are going to be disappointed, and he might be on the hot seat heading into next season. But man, I just don't feel like he has any pressure at all. I feel like he had a ton of it last year. And the fact that the team performed like it did, I don't think there's pressure there. I really think the right answer is Chuck's answer. I really think Mac Leftwich is the right answer because he's got all the pieces, supposedly. I still think there's a question mark with the wide receiving core, but I think I think it's totally fair to say Mac Leftwich. And I'm not saying that he did a poor job last year by any stretch of the imagination. I think you had a good offense last year. People think it wasn't great because it doesn't compare with your defense that was legendary, okay? But it was still a really good offense. But I think the other answer is the other one that you touched on, Brendan Sorsby. I mean, you've been paid a lot of money to come here and make Texas Tech be able to take the next step. And when it comes to once you get into the college football playoff, you were paid a lot of money to allow the Red Raiders to advance in the college football playoff. And so I just feel like that's where the pressure goes to him. It's going to be there all season long, and it's going to be there until you win a college football playoff game.
Yeah. 7:38 this morning here on the morning drive, and I went back and I looked at some scores. I mean, you get outside the freebies, the Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Kent State, Oregon State. And, I mean, you beat Utah 34-10, and you beat Houston 35-11, Kansas 42-17. You had the loss to Arizona State, beat skunked Oklahoma State. Beat K-State by 23. Beat BYU 29-7. I feel like, though, defense was a big part of those games in terms of takeaways and setting you up, short fields, things like that.
That's allowed.
Yeah, it is allowed, but
the points still score. Count.
Yeah, right. But in
some ways they set you up with those short fields, which just kept you from getting more yards offensively.
Yeah. That's what the offensive guys would say. Well,
yeah,
damn defensive guys.
They held us back.
They keep getting the fumble.
Jacob
fumble
Rodriguez
recovery.
kept scoring.
Yeah, right. Right.
Could you just force a punt and let us take it at the 5 and go 95 yards every once in a while?
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Double T 97.3 presents The Morning Drive Power Hour. The Power Hour is presented by Service Compression. Committed to service, advanced technology, and field-proven compression expertise in the oil field. See them at servicecompression.com.
8:02 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. We come to you, the trio of us, from the First United Bank studio. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line is open, and also is the Visual Edge IT hotline. Do you view us as a trio, Jamie?
Yes, of course.
Okay, dynamic trio.
I mean, there's one top of the heap. I mean, we're more of like a triangle with you at the top and Jeff and I the base. So. But yeah, it's a trio. Yeah.
It's a trio. No, I think it's a three-legged stool. We've used that.
Yeah, my leg's just shorter than the other two. It's fine.
No. Let's see here. Thoughts from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. The idiotic 5% are not worth mentioning regarding Joey on the hot seat. I would agree with that. Any of those people would be roasted worse than Chuck was after talking about flat bases or dodging lightning. Why does it always come back to that? It always comes back to the flat bases and dodging lightning.
What about would they be roasted worse than he said there were too many kids in school?
I didn't say too many kids in school. I just said the smart kids should be rewarded with the best lunchtime. Okay?
I think you questioned why there were so many kids in school.
Okay. I don't know.
Because I said, do you know why they have a 10:30 lunch? You said, because there's too many dang kids in school.
Oh, well, yeah. Right. Well, yeah. No.
I mean...
I didn't say that they should be less. I just said that there were so many in school.
Well, Chuck, you realize that means that the three of us would have been eating at about 4:30 then.
You know.
We wouldn't have got the prime slots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, man. I think that, I think the kids shouldn't have to eat at 10:30 in the morning. I think that's ridiculous.
Did the kids mind?
I don't know.
Have you asked them?
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that first. Since it's their lunchtime.
It bothers me.
You're not the one going to their lunch every day.
No, not every day.
Their lunch is every day. Let's ask them first.
I don't think anybody in the world would disagree with you that that's not ideal. The part that is mind-boggling to me is that you can't figure out why they do it and understand that, there's a lot of kids. They got they all don't go in there at the same time, right at noon. Everybody eats at noon. You put the whole school in there at once. It's shocking to me that you can't figure that out.
Okay. Well, I mean, when I've been to lunch with the little phenom, okay, there's acres and acres of open spaces, okay? So
that doesn't
just seems to me like that.
Is it loud in there, Chuck? Is it crazy in there? Is it a little wild in there? Yeah, you want to put more? Let's put couple hundred more in there.
Sure.
Yeah, that'll be good.
And how many of those kids did you cut in line of?
Yeah,
not very many. Let's see here. Yates Flooring Center chat line is open. Go to Double T. I got busted by the little phenom's mom last night.
Oh?
Well, so I was taking him home from gymnastics, and, the lucky lady told me, hey, make sure you get him something to eat. So we went to Chick-fil-A, to get something to eat, right?
Sure.
And he wanted ice cream. I said, we probably should get some for your brother, too. And unfortunately, the parents beat me home they got done with their meeting that they were at before I could get said little phenom and back with his ice cream and for the young phenom too. And he immediately just, threw it up to his mom. Hey, we got ice cream too. She's like, well, what we'll do is we'll put that in the refrigerator and have that tomorrow. I'm like, killjoy. Because he had said he wanted ice cream. And Grandma said it was up to me.
Young phenom just learned a very valuable lesson.
Little phenom, yeah.
Little phenom learned a very valuable lesson that we all have to learn at some points. Sometimes when you get something, you shut up about it.
And the parents clearly haven't learned the lesson of
don't trust Chuck.
Yeah, sometimes when you allow others to take care of your children, they're going to do what they want to do. And so this is a major reason why I avoided having, the grandparents take care of our kids that much.
I was just running them home, running them home. And we had
don't want them breaking your rules. Don't have them in control.
Big Paw and Little Phenom Adventure. So anyway, hey, there's a cool event tonight. The National Football Foundation and College Hall of Fame will hold their Scholar Athlete Awards Dinner tonight for Texas Tech and the Texas Tech chapter. And what I really like about this event is that 22 high school student athletes, scholar athletes, are going to be recognized tonight based on their academics, their athletic contribution to their team, and their community involvement. And it's a great evening. And there's others that are honored as well, but the main thing is to reward and recognize the kids on the field, and I think it's great for the people that donate that money to help some of these guys get scholarships and assist with their college school of choice. Thank you for doing that, and that'll be tonight at the Overton. So it'll be a good crowd tonight, and be an opportunity for kids from all around the area to be recognized for their not only on field but their academics and what they do for their team and their community involvement. And I mean, when you read some of the bios of these young men, I mean, it's
pretty impressive.
It's impressive. Yeah. It's impressive. And I'm not talking about the on the field stuff. I'm talking about more off the field stuff. We learned that lesson with Chuck a long time ago. Grandparents have different rules. Oh, that's from son-in-law number 1.
You
didn't. I thought I was out of the window there.
You do not have them fooled, Chuck.
No, I don't have them fooled. But you know what? Better to be involved than not, right? We're glad, we're thankful to have good son-in-law and good daughter that allow us to spoil their kids from time to time.
Now we're kissing up.
Yeah. I think I do that.
Dig out of that hole, Chuck.
I think I do that best. Jay says, Chuck, leave those kids alone. Pink Floyd playing in the background. Yeah, got it. All right. Let's see. 8:10 this morning on the morning drive. I do have a question for you, and it's sports related. We'll do that. We'll do that next.
What? In the 8 o'clock hour?
Power hour, right?
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.